What are some of the strategies that you've seen that maybe, have been effective? Like, because nothing's effective for everybody, but what are some of the things that you've been trying to implement to kind of help your staff and students through that?
There's a couple things I would say, like the first of which is just like psychoeducation, like just learning about your own psychology, learning about the way you think. Like the anxiety piece, the way you were describing it is perfect. It's almost like if you remember learning back in elementary school, like about a concentric circle where it just like starts in the middle and builds bigger and bigger and bigger and wider. That is an anxiety loop that a lot of people feel.
Yeah.
And specifically in school with teachers and staff, I had a really interesting experience. I became the interim principal in January 2020 of my school year, and or for this school rather, excuse me. And I had that position from January 2020 till July 2020. So right, like when COVID hit, it was like, oh my God,
Right.
But what I would tell the teachers is then and even now is like, I feel like our greatest flaw is our high expectations, because the high expectations are not steady. They're just ever increasing. And it's like teachers and educators today feel like they have to be pitch perfect on everything, or, you're exploited as being incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would explain to the staff, and I still do, is like, we can't be afraid to make mistakes. We just can't be. The hard part about that, obviously, is the insecurity that comes along with it. And, maybe like the critique and how are people from the outside looking in. But at the same time, it's you can't live in a world where you're not allowed to make mistakes.
Right.
And given the new expectations surrounded around education, it's, the mistakes are plentiful.
Yeah. And I just want to clarify, because I think it's not that, like, we always have high expectations, and high expectations aren't a bad thing, but
Right.
it's like we're supposed to have high expectations in way more things. And I think that's kind of the issue, right?
Yeah.
And like one of the things I always talk about. So I don't know when you went to school, but people that, listen to this podcast, some of them went to school in the 60s, some of them went in the 70s, maybe before, some of them maybe in the 2010s, right? And I've always said this: the length of the school day, no matter what decade you went to school, is basically exactly the same. But
Right.
the demands go up every single year. And it's kind of like, how can you continuously do this?